Hi fellow 90k acres and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to look at some of the best policy mechanics of the game and see what's the best policy to choose from this pile of policies. And before we start, let me just say that this video is no way the best video or the best guide there is to this game. Rather, this video is just a preference guide for user experience. So anyways, some of the policies are very OP, while some are not, and are actually trash, as I term it. And here's the two examples of the not or trash in the OP policy. So one is the devastating move, which is very OP, since this stats you usually get from your hero's expertise. Also, according to my knowledge, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but if your hero has the same expertise like the devastating move, then you will unlock the 15% stats instead of the 10%. That, and I'm pretty sure that you can unlock the second stats of the expertise or policy when you have both hero with the same expertise or policy on that same battlefield. Also, it is when you meet your ally in the same battlefield with the same expertise or policy, then you will also unlock its second or third stats if you have 3 heroes on that same battlefield. So, why is the Guardian Aura not or trash policy? Well, for me, it's because of the mace equipment, because you will suffer more damage the more you have HP, and the mace equipment is a must for every bow soldiers in this game. Next, let's look at the other policies in the game and how should it benefit us in battle or strategically. So the Bedrock Foundation and the Golden Opportunity. This 2 policy is not so bad, but not so good either. Let me explain. The only good thing about this policies is that you get 3 nails or scrolls for free without fighting hell too. In other words, it saves you food and precious time training soldier for hell too. So that's 3, meaning it saves 3 runs and like 1 hour of your time if you do hell 2, and yeah, that's the only good thing about this 2 policy, the Bedrock and the Opportunist. Next, the Mercenary Lord and the Council of Sages. Like the description says, you get 10 free recruits without food cost, and the best way to use this policy is right at the beginning of the game. Or, if you get the Council or the Mercenary later in summer or in autumn, then it's also beneficial to get them to save you time recruiting 10 soldiers and food cost. Just make sure that you recruit your main army with this policy, or rather, recruit bow soldier with this policy to help you farm tiles early in the game, and also try not to lose those 10 soldiers, make sure to use them for as long as possible. So next, the Beast Bane and the Armory Mastery policy. Let me start with the Beast Bane. Best Bane is a good policy anytime, anywhere, and it gives all your soldiers 20% damage to beast-type beast monsters in the game, and if you have the Hunter-type Bowman, then you will increase the Hunter Bowman's damage by 50% in total. And the Armoring Mastering, well, as you may already know, this policy gives a whopping 10 max HP. That's so lame. And this should be my example of a trash policy. I mean, yeah, it gives 10, or let's say you get 20 times 6, since we only have 6 levels on our soldiers level, so we get an addition of 120 HP. If we get the plus 20, but if we only get the plus 10, then we only get 60 max HP, which is lame. But if you're happy getting 60 max HP, then I guess it's okay. Next policy is the Perpetual Cycle and the Siege Experts. These 2 policies, well, for me they're both sad policy to have. I mean, if the game gives you this policy, then it would really be sad. Lol. I mean, sure. Perpetual Cycle now has buff and gives 1 heal per own level, meaning if your soldier is level 6, then 1 times own level, which is 6, then you heal by 6 per turn. I would be sad if I were the one getting this policy. Lol. And the Siege Experts. Well, it's not like it's giving you +1 damage to enemy structures. I mean, yes, but still, it's a 30% chance, 50% at best. But still, you can just use catapults that deals 3 damage per hit. So for me, it's not a trash policy, but if you say it's a good policy, then I guess it is, but not so much for me. Next, we have the Primordial Power and Weapon Mastering. Alright, the Primordial Power or Strength. This policy is one of the few OP policies in this game, because the Primordial gives a 10% max HP and 10% attack in minimum to all your level 1 soldiers, unlike the Beast Bane, which only works to beasts-type beasts. Also, the Primordial works best when you unlock your exclusive equipment later on. And for the Weapon Mastery, Well, this policy I would say is OP for some reason. I mean, you will get +1 damage per each level. So when your soldier is level 6, then you will get +6 damage, and not to mention if when your union also gets this policy, then you will get the second effect, which is +2. So overall, you'll get +12 damage for free with this policy. Conditions applied. So next is the basics, or should I say were the basic. These two, the Industrial Revolution and Harmonizing steps, are the basics. Well, at least in the old version. But now these two is sometimes difficult to get, since the game now has so many policies, which means the chance to get this policy becomes difficult. But depending on your strategy, you don't need to get the Industrial Revolution policy or the Harmonized steps, since getting your first exclusive is much easier now than before, even without the Industrial Revolution policy. Your only problem is later, when your capital reaches level 15, since here the upgrade takes so much time and upward, and most of the players speed up their build end on this level to really take advantage of the game. But some speed up very early in the game to get their first exclusive equipment, and just snowball the game from start to finish. But, like I said, it depends on your strategy. And next we have the Plunderer, which in my opinion is lame. Well, it's because experienced players will empty their resource before they get conquered. And it's actually easy to do, just ask your members to post in the market, unless all their members has no camels then. But on second thought, if you have no other choice, then you can get this policy. It's not that you can really take advantage of this policy, since most players early in the game has low res because they're using it for upgrade and stuff, and war starts mostly on day 4. And on that time, players don't really save much resources on their base, because they are always in the process of upgrading their building to level 20. So, the Bountiful Year policy. Well, in my opinion, again, if you have no other choice, or if you can't rely farm held too efficiently, then use this policy to boost your gardening, like that's what garrisoning in this game is all about. But the problem here is, if I remember it correctly, you can't get nails or scrolls using this policy rather, you just get the normal res and some iron or exp scrolls. So overall, this policy is only good for emergencies, or for your alts account. The Timely Rain and the Thoroughly Tempered policy. So this one, the Timely Rain policy, is pretty obvious. This policy works best with the Bountiful Year policy, and it's in your best interest if you can get both of them to work together. So good luck with that. For the Thoroughly Tempered policy, well, I don't have anything good to say about this policy. I mean, we have a total of 5 policies, and getting Thoroughly Tempered and other policy that offers one-time use, like for example the Opportunist policy and other policies similar to this, is in my opinion a waste of policy slot. You know what I mean? So generally speaking, the best policies to get is the ones that offers consistently than those policies that offers one-time use. So next we have the Fantastic Bargain and the Warhorn policy. So this policy is what I termed consistent, because it stays with you, and you can always use them without limitations. You know what I mean? But anyways, the Fantastic Bargain policy is always the best choice to get anytime, anywhere in the game. This policy gives you +1 nature exchange. So instead of 3, you will have 4 exchange per day, and you get -30% in handling fees. Also, the Fantastic Bargain is very useful right from the start up to the end, since you can always balance your resource so to not get overflowed and be wasted. That, and it's a very handy-dandy policy, especially in war for recruiting or healing your troops. So the Warhorn policy. This policy is everyone's dreams. Well, almost. And as you may know, the Warhorn has its negative and positive sides. And as you can see, the effect only activates when you're the attacker, and it doesn't activate when you're the defender, so you might want to keep that in mind. So next we have the Saint's Mercy and the Healer's Touch policy. This policy is, well, it's something you get if you have no choice. I mean, sure, you get to revive 3, or let's say 6, of your soldier, and let's say you revive your level 6 soldier with it. Well, that's great, but then again, it's still a one-time use, unlike the Super Bargain policy, which you can use every other day. So for me, the Saint policy is good, because it saves resource and time when healing your soldier. So it's better than nothing, I guess. But still, I think this policy is a total trash. Lol. So, the Healer's Touch to policy. Well, this one is much better than the Saint Mercy policy. Well, because you can use it till forever, and you just need resource to revive your soldier. But is this policy necessary? I'd say, not really, because we all know that losing 2 or even 1 member of our union spells disaster, and worst, your union's army is all wiped out, or let's say your strong member's army is wiped out. That's typically the same thing as losing the game. But I think, for what it's worth, I think this policy is good. So that's it for this part 1 video. Thank you for watching, I hope you like it, and we'll see you on the next.